Yo, welcome back to Run the Ropes Media Podcasts. We got a little bit of a video for you guys planned today. I know my
Uh-oh.
man hasn't seen
I
any
ain't
of
got I ain't
this.
got a clue as far as what my man's talking about right now, y'all. So I'm trying to see what's to it.
He's fully blind to the news cycle right now. So we're gonna start the video off with what came out today.
Wait, before we
Um,
get into what you is it something about Stephanie McMahon, bro?
mm-mm,
Oh, okay.
mm-mm.
I about to say I feel like I seen you text me something about Stephanie, but like I don't remember. So but go ahead,
No,
go
no,
ahead,
no,
go
no.
ahead.
So, what came out today is I'm just gonna read this and then I want your first reaction. Okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. So, John Laurinaitis has agreed to cooperate and provide evidence in Janelle Grant's lawsuit against Vince McMahon and WWE. His agreement to a confidential settlement is a pivotal next step towards holding McMahon and WWE accountable and bringing
Dang.
justice to Miss Grant after years of sexual abuse and trafficking. Mr. Laurinaitis looks forward to moving on with his life. We cannot provide any additional details at this time.
Dang, he about to throw my man Vince under the bus. That's what it
That's his
sound
that's
like.
his right hand man too.
Yeah, that's what it sound like. That's what it sound like. Dang. Hey, I mean, shoot, I don't know, bro. Like, you got to protect your own self as well. At the end of the day, you got to
Because you
protect.
gotta remember, he had some pretty bad stuff in that lawsuit as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
You
you got
know, it
to
wasn't
protect
just
home.
about Vince, it was him. He was, hip to everything that was going on according to the lawsuit, right? So, it's gonna be very interesting to see what he actually comes out
Yeah,
in court as to now flipping everything and going bad on Vince, right? Because
yeah.
he
Dang,
obviously was a part of it, so he knows every little detail what actually happened behind the scenes. So this can get pretty ugly here for old Vinnie Mac, man.
man, bro. It's like like his that's basically his biggest line of defense right there, bro. And like
Exactly.
when show biggest line of defense is like no longer defending you. Hey, hey,
Yeah.
hey, hey, F, and again, we kind of touched on this a little bit for the Vince McMahon documentary. For those who are new over here, go back and check out some of our early videos where we covered it. If Vince is guilty of doing this stuff, bro, he deserves everything that's coming his way.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna leave it at that. If he's guilty of it, bro gotta pay the consequences, just like every other human being. You know what I'm saying? So we'll leave it at that. But if that is the case, then yeah, it is the end.
Yeah.
So we shall see. Y'all let us know how y'all feel about that in the comment section below as well. And truth be told, I low key kind of forgot that this stuff is going on because he's not in the spotlight,
Yeah. Yep.
anymore. So it's like when you take him out of the spotlight, you don't really think that this stuff is going on. And a lot of these cases like this, the severity of it, it goes on for years. So like this might just be the beginning of it. It might not have a final verdict for like another 2 years or something. So
Yeah.
this could be a long road,
Exactly.
but hey, it is what it is. But on the other note, we did have some good wrestling last night on NXT, man. And NXT was honestly, man, to me, it was better than Monday Night Raw, bro. With that short 2 hours with the commercials, it's just jam-packed action. And surprisingly, we started off NXT with a surprising dub, and which is so funny because I feel like we touched upon this where we say, why do they do these title matches on Monday Night Raw when we know the champion is not gonna,
Yep.
we're not gonna get a new champion? NXT showed us, hey, bro, we gonna show y'all that every week is much watch TV. Started
Mhm.
off with Ricky Saints and Ethan Page, and I'm a fan of both. And the only reason, I don't want to say the only reason, and also before we get too in depth with this, shout out to my brother Swerve Strickland with the new Reebok collab joints, man. Shout out to my boy Swerve Strickland with those. But I'm a fan of AEW, bro. Some of the wrestlers. Um, Ethan Page and Ricky Starks back in AEW, I felt like they didn't get the shine that they deserved, bro. You know, like these were two mid-card talents that within a short amount of time in NXT have become main eventers. And
Yeah.
I feel like Ethan Page and Ricky Saints in WWE will get that call up very soon because we've been seeing how quick mugs can get called up, bro. I feel like it used to be at least like a year or two in NXT, then you get called up, to some being called up a lot quicker. And again, as we saw from last night, two former AEW superstars opened up NXT, and we got a new champion in Ethan Page. How you feel about that, bro?
I like it because it's keeping it fresh. I
Mm-hmm.
it it's a little quick, depending on how you look at it. If you're a Ricky Saints fan, right? Because what are they gonna do? Are they gonna bounce it back and forth? Or are they just gonna have like a really in depth, long rivalry? I mean, I could be here for that as well. Um, or are they gonna get ready for him to start being up too? We're gonna get into this because I want your thoughts on the other call ups as well. But I like title changes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like in general, when you just have PLEs and you have title matches on PLEs and you just have title changes on PLEs, it makes the product that you see every single week, and there are those title matches like you just said, you're like, I don't really need to watch it because they ain't ever going to change the titles anyway. So the fact that NXT is just running through and just, hey, let's start getting people in there and seeing how they are as a champion, right? I mean, you see it with the women's division. There's been multiple champions. Obviously, on Battleground 2, you had Soul defend her title. But again, that's another one where it started out with Kalani, then you had it on Fallon Henley, then you had it on Sol Ruka. Like I like that, man, because you get the feel of these superstars, how they, act as a champion. Let's be honest, right? Even in NXT, when they put the belt on you, it does give you that
That's the
edge to you,
task,
right? You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it can elevate certain people. So I do like that. Again, good match too. These guys they're gonna be a main talent very, very soon. Both of these guys, Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, I
100%.
think. So it's just a matter of time between those guys.
I feel like Ethan Page is the perfect heel
He's a
that they
great
have
heel.
right now. He's a great heel. Very like the crazy thing is, bro. Like I do whatnot. I do my Pokemon stuff. I do sneakers and stuff. Like Ethan Page was chilling on. That's how I first like. I seen him on AEW. Then I seen he did like a live stream on whatnot. And I'm just like, dude, just like a cool, he's a cool cat, you know what I'm saying? And AEW wasn't utilizing these guys. Same thing with Sean Spears.
Yeah.
Like these mid talent guys that they snatched up, I feel like we're low key like diamond in a rush, man. We gonna get them for the low, and they gonna be a
Mhm.
big payoff later on. And this could be Ricky Saints moving on to the main event title on NXT. Maybe he's gonna go for that NXT heavyweight championship now. So I don't look at it as a bad thing.
No.
Because again, like you said, man, title changes are good. It does keep things fresh. It does keep things interesting. So that was, and it was a good match too. And it was a
Yeah.
good match too. What
Now
else we got?
it's a fine line between having title changes and also watering down the champions. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I hope they don't flip flop it like crazy down there. But again, we also have to remember at the end of the day, NXT is what at its core.
Well, like talking about like developmental.
It's the development, it's the funnel, right? All the way
But
up
you
to the
know the
main
crazy
roster.
thing though, bro?
It has better wrestling.
Times is changing though, bro, because now they got Evolve.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Evolve more on like a NXT level now.
Yeah.
Because they got some of the NXT talent down there that don't get as much main TV time on NXT.
Yep.
So NXT has gotten to the point where it went from just being developmental that we gonna pull some of these superstars from these other programs as well and throw them in there because NXT is still hot. Even
Yeah.
though it's still technically developmental, I feel like now they're gonna start funneling people in through Evolve bring them to NXT, then make the main roster debut, which I think is great because it's another step. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Sometimes I feel like some of these guys and girls aren't ready. And who am I to say they not ready? But when you get to watching them on the main roster and you see they not getting enough time, you know, some of the matches may look all over the place. Some may critique and say they not ready. So I feel like we're evolving here too. I think it's just gonna make these guys a lot better by the time they make it to the main event roster. So, you know, we'll see how that goes.
I agree. Let's just quickly touch on it real quick. I know that I don't know if you finished the whole series of LFG or not, but you did have the winner of the men's side of LFG make his debut last night as well in Jasper Troy. They had my man's have a pure squash match to just
Mm-hmm.
elevate him,
Yeah.
and looks like he's going to be going for the NXT championship, right? Because you had Obafemi up in the rafters
Mm-hmm. Looking. Yeah.
already with that interaction, which
Mm-hmm.
I think is wild, bro. The guy just wins the NXT contract
Yeah.
and you're already going.
I mean, but they done it in the past too, where like a call up, not necessarily a call up, like Carmelo Hayes won. He won like the NXT. You know, they had like a little tournament when they first brought that new fresh class in, and then that winner went ahead
Yeah.
and got an NXT championship. I think he picked the North American championship to go after, but like I want to say they've done it in the past. But the crazy thing is, it's just showing how they're moving these guys up, and it seemed like Oba might be like he might be a guy that can potentially beat Oba. Like they've been having some surprise wins, bro. That I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like Monday
Yeah.
Night Raw, SmackDown, we're surprised now when we see title change. NXT showing us that like expect the unexpected. Don't be surprised that this guy wins. You know,
Yep.
so yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. He was one where I wasn't really invested in when I was watching the show LFG, but in like the later stages, I was like, yeah, you know what? It's gonna be interesting to see how he actually interacts with people. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you go from that show LFG, right? It's like in a bubble. You get what I'm saying? It like they weren't in front of live crowds all that
Mhm.
often. It's kind of like obviously it's a
Yeah,
produced show,
yeah.
so they're almost like, all right, sink or swim, kid. Like let's see how you're gonna,
Hey, sometimes that's how it is.
you
Sink or
know,
swim, you know. So hey,
exactly.
hopefully you know how to swim, bro. But jump up in there, see how deep the water is, man. Yeah.
Exactly.
So man, best of luck to him.
100%. So, next, let's just talk about it, bro. You had one of the more shocking victories when you
Oh,
think
shot.
about it in NXT. I mean, in a long time, you had
Yeah.
Stephanie Vaquer lose the title to JC Jane, who, let's give credit to JC Jane, bro. She's one of like the OGs now, it
Yeah,
seems like,
yeah,
in
she is
NXT.
low key. Low key as far as the women's roster. She
Yeah.
like her, I want to say like her and Fallon probably got in there around the same time, bro.
Yep.
Like this NXT women's but the NXT women rosters have they've been producing more women superstars than men superstars as far as longevity. 100%. 100%. And now they about to have two more call-ups that we're gonna get to in a second. That's already showing like, all right, JC, like now is your time to take over you know, this area down here. Cause
Yep.
again, she is the most vetted in that locker room, man. Because when you think like you got like Lola Vice and them, they came after her.
Uh-huh.
You know, Kalani Jordan, they came after her. You know, so it's good to see her get the dub. I honestly was surprised, you know, but then now that you mention it, like who else could they would have put that title on? You know, like they got some more popular people, you know, like Jada Parker or somebody like that, but like is she 100% ready? You
Mhm.
know, to carry that title down there, man. So we'll see, but definitely was a surprise.
100% was a surprise, and it's already confirmed that it looks like Stephanie Vaquer is moving her way up to the Raw roster, which you just had Roxanne sign, you just had Julia get called
Mm-hmm.
up. Now you have Stephanie, and then the other name that came out of the event last night too that came up that just is going to be introduced on SmackDown is Jordan Grace,
Yep.
which is extremely quick, bro. She
I
just
don't know
came
if
from
she ready though,
TNA.
bro. Yeah, yeah. Like, and again, who am I, right? Who am I to say if somebody
I
is
mean,
ready
all
or
we
ready
can
or
do
not?
is observe what we watch.
You know, but my thing is, you know, she's good, but I feel like we haven't really we ain't seen much of her
Mhm.
in NXT yet. Julia, I feel like Julia and Stephanie Valkyrie, they were popular on the international and on homeland too. I feel like Jordan Grace is popular as well, but like in a sense, they kind of like my thing is they ain't really do much with Ivy now. Now, who am I to compare Ivy now and Jordan Grace as far as like popularity? But as far as like stature and like what they do in the ring, like how like you get what I'm saying? Like what
Yeah,
what
similar looks,
similar
kinda.
look how how y'all
Like
gonna have
that
one
shorter,
dominant
muscular
yeah, how
build.
y'all
I get
gonna
what
have
you're
one
saying.
dominant force on SmackDown, but then not with the same stature, but not dominant on Raw. So it's
Yeah.
just like at least, but then again, that's just me critiquing it. But I just feel like Stephanie Valkyrie, yeah, we seen that. But then Jordan Grace been she popped up at the Royal Rumble, twice. So it's not like she's new to it, man. Yeah, she ready. She ready. I mean, now that I think about it, she's been in WWE locker rooms longer than Stephanie Valkyrie and Julia were as far as just being around. She got introduced to NXT before them. So yeah, man, she probably ready, bro. I just feel like we ain't get enough time to really enjoy those ladies down there. They were down there maybe like 6 months.
They made such a huge impact when
They
they first
did,
came
bro.
over,
Fast.
you know?
Fast, bro. Almost kind of gave me like undisputed era vibes, bro. Like when they were down there tearing up NXT. Them women have been tearing up NXT, bro. So again, not surprised. And I want to say, at the NXT PLE this past the past previous one, they had like some of the what is it, CLA? What is it? What
AAA, AAA.
Triple A. Okay, CMLA is AEW, but Triple A they had some of their luchador women.
Yep.
So I'm assuming they probably gonna jump in there in NXT or something too. So I just feel like it's a tunnel, but it's the perfect tunnel for how they've been doing with the female rosters at NXT. We're gonna let two go up. We're gonna bring two good ones, let them rise up. We're gonna bring in it. To me, the recipe has been working with them for the women roster.
Yeah, and now that Julia and Stephanie are both called up to the main roster, right? It's gonna be fun to kinda see those other pieces, like, break out and see
Mm-hmm.
if they can really shine. Like, bro, Sol Ruka, I don't think she's ever had a bad match.
Yeah, she killing it, bro.
You know what I'm
She
saying?
killing it. Yeah,
Her, Kalani, I mean, there's so much talent still down
they
there.
still got talent down there,
So
bro.
much
So it's not like
talent.
they leaving. It's not like it's gonna be a big gap,
Yep.
as
But
far as women's
here's my next
superstars.
question. They announced the draft. So you're already calling up so much talent
Yeah,
before the
yeah,
draft. You gonna there you gotta call more up with the draft, no?
maybe,
So
maybe.
it's almost like who's next?
I could. It depends on if Soul Ruka loses that championship, but sometimes they had a championship and still kind of do their little bit of in ring on both shows
Yeah,
until
yeah.
they lose it, and then they finally on like Raw or SmackDown. So, but
Yep.
she's good though, bro. She is good. Her matches are entertaining too, man. For real,
Best
for real.
finisher.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
That thing is
that soul
crazy.
snatcher, that joint cold, bro. Real talk, yeah. But y'all let us know in the comments how y'all feel. It's good to do content on NXT. Like NXT is very fresh, like wrestling. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And again, it's definitely good to talk about it. So let us know if y'all want more NXT topics. Let us know what other topics y'all want us to talk about in the comment section below. And I mean, that's pretty much it from my end, bro.
I'm just gonna leave you with one final pondering question. My man Trick Williams is now the TNA champion, but when is Trick Williams gonna be on the main roster? We said this about a year ago now. We thought at the Royal Rumble was gonna be his time to
Mhm.
shine. It seems like he's just stuck in the NXT TNA bubble right now, so we shall
I
wait and
wouldn't even
see.
say stuck, bro. But we could do another video on this.
I
I
mean, he's flourishing down
I
there.
I think yes. I think where he's at, do I feel like he's a big fish in a small pond? He's getting there.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
He's
definitely
been there
getting
long enough to that's exactly what it feels like right now.
it definitely. But what are they gonna do if they bring him up? Like, look at Melo. Truth be told, like,
but him and Melo can run some
that's the only thing that they can do right now. You
in the
know,
start, and then they can branch him out, bro. He's got the music, he's got the look,
he got everything, bro, to
he
be a big
got it, bro.
superstar, bro. He 100%, bro. Even his mic skills.
Yep.
You know, so again, y'all let us know how y'all feel about that as well in the comment section below. And other than that, you got your boy Break.
Yeah, Dylan.
And we out.
Peace.
Peace.